What's up guys? So as you know, Hytale servers are still in early stages and most of them are kind of dead. But there is one server that keeps showing up at the top, Histatu network. Across multiple server lists, this one always has the most players. So I decided to spend a few days playing this server to figure out how it works, its economy, leveling, dungeons, and more to see if this server is most popular for a reason or it's just a dud. Let's hop right into it. Okay, so I've broken this down into 8 brief segments to give you a solid general understanding of the server without wasting your time. The first being the identity, or what kind of server is this? So technically Histatu is a hub server with skyblock and survival, but the survival realm is basically where everyone is at because it's a massive MMO style dungeon crawler with some insane custom features as well as a ton of progression that we'll break down in the rest of the vid. Moving on to segment 2, when you first join. When you first drop in Histatu, you're in this pretty crazy looking hub. From there you pick your mode and like I said, most of us go straight to the survival. Now there isn't a floating tutorial NPC, but the staff and even the owners are constantly active and welcoming. Huge shout out to a mod named Graysloth who personally helped me get my bearings when I first joined. If the staff is busy, their /help command is actually one of the most detailed I've ever seen, breaking everything down into simple sections. If you're comparing this to a traditional Minecraft server, it feels very familiar but upgraded. You've got all the different crates you can open, the ranks room, as well as the entrance for the raids. More on that later. To get started, you can just use /kit to grab your basics or go vote for the server to get voting keys. Those keys are huge for getting your first bit of loot before you just run out of spawn, or /RTP to start your journey. Performance wise, it's a seamless experience. Even with all the custom mods and special abilities firing off, it stays smooth. You might see a tiny bit of lag during the massive raids, but the owner is usually right there in the chat addressing and fixing issues in real time. Okay, moving on to segment 3, the economy. So even this early, Histatu's economy is pretty legit. There's a /shop and a player auction house where you can buy and sell almost anything. But here's the big one. There is zero pay to win here. If you're willing to put in the work, you can actually buy every single server rank using in-game cash. You can grab Prisma tools, which is a custom ore that even beats out Mithril, or pick up crate and dungeon keys. To fund that lifestyle, you got options. You can set up a massive automated farm, deck out a pickaxe with high level efficiency and luck to sell ores, or just raid dungeons and sell the rare loot that can be worth millions, which honestly is what most people do. But even still, the server gives you total freedom on how you want to build your empire, and I love that you can make bread by just playing the game. Okay, moving on to segment 4, ranks and rewards. So there are 6 ranks on Histatu: Hero, Elite, Legend, Titan, Mythic, and Divine. And they range from $10 all the way up to $500. But you can buy all of them with in-game cash. They start at 5 million and go all the way up to 500 million. The top 2 ranks are absolute powerhouses, but mostly because of their kits. And while buying them with in-game cash only lasts a week, you can actually win them permanently from the raid crates. Speaking of crates, they're made to match the ranks. So there's a hero crate all the way up to Divine, which you can get some pretty insane custom weapons from. More on that later. You can get voting keys just by supporting the server, and raid keys by participating in the daily raids. The cool part is, from those voting and raid keys, you can actually unlock every other type of key on the server. Plus, honestly, the owner is almost always online and dropping keys anyways, so that's pretty sick. Okay, moving on to segment 5, leveling and progression. Now, this is where stuff gets pretty complex and in-depth, but for the sake of this video, I condensed it and just gave you guys a general rundown. Just know there's a lot more to the progression. Okay, so you've got 2 main systems, /XP and /skills. XP is your base. It tracks everything from mining to cooking. Every time you hit a threshold, you get a permanent buff like boosting your crit chance with a sword or your luck while mining. But /skills, that's where the real MMO magic happens. You've got 12 races with their own stats and passives, as well as character models, which is super cool, and 17 different classes with unique weapon affinities, passives, and attribute gains. Plus, each race and class has evolution paths that bring even more stats to the table. But what makes you really OP is the augments, which are basically a combination of abilities, passives, and just base stat boosts. When you hit the level 100 cap, you can do your first prestige, basically a rebirth. You reset to level 0, but you keep your current augments and unlock even more to stack on top of those, as well as unlocking a new level cap. You can stack these buffs and increase your levels until you're an absolute monster. And since Since the dungeons scale their difficulty to your level, the challenge never actually goes away. Alrighty, now for segment 6, dungeons and raids. This is currently the only server doing both co-op dungeons and custom raids this well. So you've got 6 dungeons in total at the moment. The first 3 feel more like a classic Hytale kind of vibe. You got a swamp dungeon, an ice, and a void. Think of these as like your starter dungeons, a bit more straightforward and easier. Then you have the 3 endless dungeons that range in difficulty but overall are more complex, harder to do, and have better rewards. This is what most people consistently grind. The coolest part, the enemies scale to your party's average level, so you're never just steamrolling through, there's always a challenge. Then you have the raids. These happen 3 times a day, and it's basically a server-wide war against high-level bosses. If you make the top 10 damage leaderboard for that raid, the rewards are actually massive, but you will have to do some grinding because people are out here doing literal tens of millions of damage during these raids, which is kind of insane, but also pretty cool. Okay, moving on to segment 7, weapons and enchantments. One thing Hytale is definitely missing right now is enchantments, but Histatu added over 30 of them to keep the combat variety high. But the absolute peak of the gear system is the divine weapons. We're talking custom animations, glows, and unique ultimates that look insane and are very powerful. You can find these in the divine crates or hunt for them on the player auction house as well. And even though it's not a weapon, I have to shout out the gliders, which are a huge part of running through the dungeons and just help you get around so much quicker. And last but not least, staff and community. And I want to put an emphasis on this one because I believe this is where the server is really thriving. The staff and the owner are almost always online, and they're actually listening to feedback and updating the server in real time. For example, they have a suggestion thread on Discord that gets reviewed every single day. On top of that, the community and culture they've already built on the server is just amazing. There's always people on the Discord, there's always people online. They're willing to talk with you, hop in a dungeon, help you out if you need it, and everyone's just really nice. It's just a good vibe, honestly. It's a rare feeling to be a part of a project while it's still being built, especially when it has so much potential. And look, I know I'm kind of glazing this server right now, and of course, it's not perfect, but if you've been bored of regular Minecraft or you've just been looking for a quality Hytale server, I would for sure give Histatu a shot. From my short time playing it, I'd say it's worth it. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you found value in this video, please give it a like and subscribe. I'm trying to bring you guys quality, unique Hytale content that you can't really find anywhere else. So if you guys appreciate that, stay tuned because I got more coming. Thanks, guys. Peace.